Hi there. Today I would like to recall a session I had some months ago with a buddy coach, and the account of the session is still on my blog, but I would like to talk about that again. So I was coaching this buddy coach about an issue which was, when I think to change my job or to do something, I am really afraid of making errors. And as soon as I am afraid of making errors, I become anxious. And as soon as I become anxious, I start eating snacks. And I start, eating everything I found in my home. And this thing of behavior loops endlessly. So we were talking about this, and my client was getting anxious about that. And I think because of the different time zone, I was in Italy and he was in the US. So in Italy it was like 8:30 p.m. and I was hungry, really hungry. So while I was listening to the client on the phone, I had this image of my fridge popping up in my mind. And on my fridge I have magnets, some magnets, the one that you take from your journeys or things that you like to see and so on. And one of these magnets, what in my mind was really popping up. And this magnet says, always make new errors. And it's a phrase by Esther Dyson. So I got this image and I started challenging the client about why don't you make more errors? I knew he's a very competitive person, as I am. So we started discussing and, let's say, joking about being really competitive in making new errors, more than any other people in the world. And at this point, the anxiety was gone. So and the session went good. I mean, the client made a shift. So after the session, and after getting a snack and eating something from my fridge, I got this sense like, cool, I have a new tool. I have this brand new sentence that I can use with clients, which says, always make no errors. And then I thought, maybe I should give a closer look to my fridge and see if other magnets can tell something significant about my coaching profession. And maybe, my fridge has been there for 5-6 years. So, and I meet it every morning basically, but I don't pay attention to the magnets on it. So this time I made attention and I look at them. And so this is the list. You can see the list and you can see the picture of my fridge with numbers. And so the magnets are like this. One says, some people walk in the rain, others just get wet, by Roger Miller. The second one is, always make new mistakes, by Esther Dyson. And the third one says, what would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? And the fourth is, passion is the only way a man learns to create. This one was written by me with Magnet's letter. And one day that maybe I got some inspiration. Another one is a picture of my children, Alice and Francesco. And then I have 4 magnets about New York. Then there is a small wooden heart with written "Mi manchi," which means I miss you in Italian. And then I have 1 magnet with 2 white kittens. So I looked at the magnets, searching for inspiration or something that I can use as a coach in my session and so on. And I came up with some thoughts about the magnets. For example, about the magnets about errors, about making new mistakes, and about walking in the rain and so on, told me that actually in everyone's life there is always a choice, and you can choose how you feel about everything. So there are no problems in nature, as we say, just events. And then also that to create something, to change something, you need errors. Errors are a need. They are not just something that gets from you and your goal, but it's something that you need to do. And also that every time we need not to limit our options, we need to dare, we need to open our vision, because options are always more than the ones that we think that we have. And then when I read the sentence, passion is the only way you have to create, this reminds me that to learn or to create, you need emotions. You cannot create, undo, or accomplish anything if you do not pay attention to emotions. And then there is my children picture, and that says to me that my future is here, and it's in the eyes of my children. So if you have children, your children are the best way to think about your future, not in sense of worriness or being afraid, but in sense that they are like a window on the future, so you can use them for inspiration about your own future. And then there are the New York magnets, and I love New York. It's not a big deal. I mean, I think there are thousands of people or millions of people who loves New York. But this reminds me that we are the places we love. And I tend to forget that. So I tend to think about myself like I can be myself everywhere. That's not true. My identity is for a big part made of the places I've been, the places I've loved, and so on. So when I'm looking for hints or inspiration, I start to think to the place I love, and maybe I go there also. And then there is the small wooden heart that says, I miss you. And that's come from my wife, my partner. And this reminds me that the relationship is always a matter of being present or being absent, staying or leaving, and being equal or being different. And this is one of the key I use to understand relationship. And so every time you have a relationship, I tell myself, you need to be present or you need to be absent and recognize the states, because it is not something that is given. Every day you have to choose to be present or not to be. Emotionally present or absent also. And then there is the two kittens that keep a note on the fridge. And in that case, my thought is like, sometimes a magnet is just a magnet. So sometimes you do not need to elaborate on things, you just need to let's say, look at them as they are. There is no other significance in that. Sometimes it happens also. So back to the session, I thought, cool, I have a lot of new tools and new sentences, new things that I can tell to my clients. But on a second thought, I realized that it was in that session, because I was angry, because of the time zone, because of the topic of the client, because a lot of different things, that sentences about errors made sense. And I cannot reuse it in another session. And this led to me to think that every coaching session, every single coaching session is just a unique piece. So it's something that you cannot repeat. You cannot do like, like I do this video that I tell something and I can replay it. A coaching session is a unique piece. And this is also the reason I work as a coach, because it doesn't happen all the time, but when it happens, that unique piece, it's a piece of beauty. And so what I learned from my fridge is I do this job because I love the chance of doing something beautiful when I succeed, which is not all the time, of course.